Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Well, this may be your first video, but maybe not your first video. So either welcome or welcome back. Today we are doing a tumbler, obviously. I am putting on my gloves. I have my door open because we will be working with the resin again today. It's kind of my thing right now with the resin. I got my gloves, so safety first. First thing we're gonna do, it's gonna be super fun today. Just wait and see what we do with this cup. All right, tear that out. We're gonna mix our resin. Oh, everything we're using. So I have my scale, I have my amazing clear cast resin, I have my turner, and we are going to be using the Pinata brand alcohol inks again. I have the white, the Blanco Blanco, the Rich Gold, and the Mantilla Black. I did not know that was called that. I have my handy dandy torch, stirring stick, scale so we can measure out our resin in equal parts. I believe that's everything we're using today. So here we go. For the cups, it doesn't take very much resin to do a thin layer on the cups. Oh, which one am I pouring first? I'm pouring B first, apparently, today. I'm going to do probably about a third of the cup and then see what that measures to, and then I will measure out my part A so that we can mix evenly. So that came out to 0.6. So we're going to do 1.2 total. Ooh, here we go. I should have done this one first because this is thicker. It'll be harder to it'll be harder to match as perfectly with this one as it would with the other one because it pours much easier. The B does. All right. Cut that off. All right. Now we have measured out our resin. I'm going to move the scale. I have talked many times about stirring with the resin. You want to make sure it's fully stirred. It will have bubbles in it, but whenever you pull up your stick and let the resin slip back down into the cup, it should look clear like glass. And this is the part you really need the ventilation, but I'm going to speed this up so that we can get to the fun part. All right, now that we have this stirred, I've got some on my thumb. I'm going to switch to get a new glove because I don't want to end up getting that on every single thing that I touch. All right, fresh gloves. Now I'm going to turn this on. It does make a little bit of a noise. The motor does whenever you're running it, but shouldn't be too horrible. All right, and I'm going to show you guys how I put this on. What I do is I just take a little bit like this, and then I move it around with my fingers. So I don't know why I changed gloves and then proceeded to use this glove to put the resin on. I'm not used to it turning towards me. Usually it turns away from me. I don't know what it's doing today. All right, a little bit more. want to make sure that there is a nice even layer. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is a stainless steel tumbler that I spray painted white. I like to start with a white background, and I find that the resin sticks better to the spray paint. Although honestly, I say that, but I don't know if I've ever actually even done a cup without spray painting it first. I think I always just spray paint it. And guys, with this resin, there is resin out there that whenever you mix it, it gets really warm. And you would not be able to put your fingers on it. But this amazing clear cast brand it doesn't get warm at all when you mix it. It stays the same temperature as it was. And we want to make sure we get some resin on the bottom of the cup. And I just move it with my hands. And I've got this pan, which is covered in resin. This is my drip catching pan, because until it's cured, or well, not all the way cured, because there's a point when it gets hard enough that it stops dripping, but it's not cured yet. But when you put the stuff on here, sometimes it drips off. You've got too much stuff. And in a little bit, we're going to use the torch on the resin to make the alcohol inks that we're using today move around. And that heat, when you heat up the resin, it makes it runnier. And you can sometimes get drips. See all these black pieces that are on here? That is from me warming up. And I always switch my gloves after this part because I get it all over my hands. And I switch to new gloves before I start working with my alcohol inks. All right, this is my favorite part. I love this part. Putting all the colors on, making it beautiful is my favorite part. Okay, like I mentioned a minute ago, we are going to be, actually, I'm going to pop bubbles on here before we really get started. I don't want it to start running, which is why I'm doing very, very small bursts just when I see some bubbles. And you also want to be careful with your torch on, well, I'm using the styrofoam piece, and you can melt these because I have done it before. The one that I was using before was pink, and I melted it. I caught it on fire a little bit there. So you want to be super careful with your torch, especially if you're inside your house. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to start with, let's see, I think I'm going to mix some white and black in the leftover resin that I have to make like a grayish color. But I'm going to start with the gold. And with this piñata, this gold, you have to shake it. It has a little ball in there because it separates the mixture, and this one separates. All right, and we are just going to drop on here. Drop. And it's going to move. Oh, the gold. I love the gold. Now, you don't want to overdo it with the gold, but you want to have enough that you can see the shimmery shiny. I'm going to try and get it on the bottom. There we go. You can see the shimmery shininess. Now, it's not going to stay like this, how it looks right now, where it's like blobby. We're not going to stay like that. All right. Gold there. I think we're good for gold. I think we're good. See how it's moving as it turns? The resin is still wet and it's still moving. Not enough to drip off, but it is still moving. So I am going to do just a couple drops of just plain old black just on here. Try and hit where I don't have the gold just yet. But when we use our torch, it's going to do very different stuff. And you're going to think, oh, that looks like a mess. Until we hit it with the torch and it starts moving all around. And then it'll be like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do one there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a black one here. I want some more black on the edge right there. Drip it down. And there, I need more black. That's what I think. Now, I don't actually have any white alcohol ink on here yet. It's just the black and the gold. However, you can see the white from just the cup underneath, and the resin makes it super shiny, and it's awesome. All right, now I'm going to hit this with the torch first. Now, be careful, because the alcohol ink, well, it is alcohol, therefore it is flammable. So you want to be super careful that you don't catch anything on fire. I have totally done that before. So be super careful, and I just real fast back and forth like this, just to warm it up, just to get it moving with my torch. Back and forth, back and forth. Don't stay in one spot too long, and try really hard not to hit your foam that your cup is on. All right, now you're not going to realize how runny it's getting until it gets super runny and starts just flying everywhere. And it will mix. And if we just lay it on the gold starts separating and starts doing these cool effects. But that's not what we're looking for. We're just trying to get it to run. So we are just hitting back and forth, warming up this resin. And I think we're not quite at a point where we're running yet. Gonna do a little bit more like this. Oh, I'm gonna have to give my hand a moment. All right, I can see it's trying to start moving. Give my hand a moment. Oh yeah, it's starting to move there. Get it here. Oh, yep, I can see it running there. Because we don't want these big blobs. We want it to move, we want it to run. I'm going to slow down a little bit, just add a little bit more of the heat, because I just don't think I'm hitting it enough, is what I'm doing. I'm doing it too fast, and I'm just not heating it up the way that I'd like to. Slow it down a little bit, move it back and forth. And you'll start to see how it's running. Oh, my torch is running out of gas. Move, move. That hurts my hand to hold that like that for too long. All right, and while that moves, I am gonna make gray in my cup. I'm gonna mix a couple drops of the black. I did 4 drops of the black. I think it was 4 or 5. And then, oh, I got it on my glove. Ooh, it's moving. It's moving. That looks awesome. I'm gonna do a couple, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the white. And I might add some more of one or the other to get a color that is really what I'm looking for. Because this, I think this is too dark for what I'm really wanting. My throat's getting dry. Oop, 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 oop. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more white because because that is not really the color that I was looking for. I did 3 drops. And you can see how this is moving around more. Goodness. All right. you know, I really like the way that this is turning out. I don't know if I'm going to add this gray to it or not. I don't know if I am. Okay, I'm going to set that aside while Resin likes to just do whatever it wants. And I just love what it is doing right now. But I'd like some more swirlies, please. Some more swirlies, please, and thank you. And I definitely want to break up some more of the spots where it's got like just a lot of that gold. Because while the gold is really pretty, I think it's prettier when it's runny. Oh, I'm having to get so close to the cup because my gas is running out. I wonder where my gas thing is. It's over there somewhere. Oh, that spot I really wanted to. Oh, and I am officially out of gas. All right, well, we'll just let this turn for a minute. And I am gonna go get some gas in my torch. I will be right back. I am back with my torch. Should be nice and filled up. Well, filled up more. I put all of it that I had left, and I'm going to try and hit these gold spots real good as they're coming so I can get that to run. I think the issue is it's so cold in here because I have my door open for ventilation that the resin is cooling off. Ooh, I love that though. I think I'm actually, I'm in love with what this is doing. I super love that. And it's still moving. I can see it running here and there. All right, so this, I believe, I might hit it with a torch a few more times if I can really get the gold to flow. But mostly, guys, we are about finished. And I'm gonna pause this part of the video and then I will come back later and show you guys just how it turned out in the end. What happened? Oh, I forgot to put my mic back on. Hopefully you can hear everything that I was just saying. We shall see. Anyways, I will be back after this is going to turn. I think it's 6 hours roughly to get it to where it's cured enough that it's not going to be running and moving. But in order to get a really full cure, you have to wait about 24 to 48 hours with the resin. So it's going to turn overnight until in the morning, and then I'll turn it off because it won't. If you turn it off and you don't leave it running while it's still moving, you'll end up with parts at the bottom of the cup where it's dripped down because it is still moving. So if you keep it turning overnight until it's hardened up enough that it will stop moving, then you can turn it off and then it can just sit and finish curing not on the turner. So if you need to take this off, put something else on, do something else, you can totally do that after it has finished curing. Or if you have multiple turners, you can take this off, put this on something else so it can rotate, put something else on, work, whatever setup you have. I don't know what you guys have set up. Oh, that looks so pretty. I think it's going to turn out amazing. Anyways, I will be back for the rest of the video later. Welcome back, guys. This is our cup that we were working on turning the other day. It has cured because of the gold that we used in the cup. I had to put a layer of varnish on top because for whatever reason, the epoxy that we use, the same one that I mentioned earlier in the video,
turns the gold green if you put it directly on top of the gold alcohol ink. So I did a layer of the varnish, and because of the varnish that I use, it has a little bit of an oily texture, and it can sometimes make the resin have pot marks. That's what I'm calling them. Little potholes in the resin. So I have taken baby powder and I rubbed baby powder over it, similar that you would do if you were doing like acrylic pour painting and you use silicone in your painting. You would use the baby powder to wipe the silicone off. So this is cleaned off of the baby powder, and the baby powder should have cleaned off the oil. And so we are going to put on our fresh layer of resin to completely seal this. And then eventually it will go on my Etsy page, which we are currently redoing because we've been having some technical issues. So in my description for this video, I will have my new Etsy link so that you guys can go and check out whenever I post my stuff on there. I'm now going to speed the video up because we really don't need to talk more about putting this on. We've already done that. And you guys can watch as I put this on, and then we'll come back later and do the video of showing the end result. And we're back for the last part of this video. Our cup is finished. It does not have any more of the pot marks on it. I'm just going to let it cure for probably about another 3 days or so. And I already have someone interested in buying it. However, if that does not happen, this will be going on my Etsy shop. Just kind of turning it so you guys can see how it looks in the end. If you guys do this tutorial and come up with cups of your own, I'd love to see pictures in the comments. Let me know what your favorite part was, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.